How to replace the rack and pinion on an Audi A4 1.8T Quattro B6. This specific rack and pinion is made by SKP and it fits the A4 model years from 02 through 06. Cost about $300. At this point, the vehicle has been lifted and properly secured. The front wheels have been removed. First off, disconnect the negative battery terminal, or actually, there's gonna be this bolt that's under the battery. So at this point, just disconnect the battery and remove the battery. Remove the battery. One thing to note is before disconnecting the battery, make sure the driver's seat is as far back as you can put it. You'll notice that when you take this key out, the steering wheel becomes locked. Go ahead and remove the lower dash panel under the steering wheel. If you need help removing it, check out this video by Total Technique. It takes them about 4 minutes to explain it. So that's 4 minutes we're gonna save here. We're gonna go ahead and remove that bolt at the end of the steering column. Bolt should be right there. Socket size H6. And then just remove this, set it out of the way. So the steering column is disconnected and the steering wheel still locked. Here we're on the passenger side. We can see that the boot has leaked all over the place. We're gonna disconnect the tie rod, the outer tie rod. Remove this bolt at the top first, 13mm socket, and then remove this nut using a 16mm socket. And once you remove this nut, there's gonna be a bolt that you just push out. Once you got that hardware removed, you can take this bolt out and it's captured in a way. So whenever you're spinning it, on the other side, it doesn't move because it's hitting a little slot on the other side. I used a punch to remove the tie rod from right here. Just be careful which end of the tie rod you use. In this case, if I would have used this end, it would have gotten stuck in there. So I went ahead and used the larger end. If you want more space, you could always remove this cover. All you would do is remove this speed nut with the 10mm deep socket and a clip over here with your trim tool. And then you would pull this cover out, little plastic cover, inspection cover. On the passenger side, it's not really necessary, but you will have to remove it on the driver's side. On the driver's side, we have this inspection cover off. You basically muscle it off once you have those two fasteners removed. Here we can see it. The reason we're going to change this rack and pinion is leaking a bunch of power steering fluid from this boot. We're going to leave the tie rods connected, and on the driver's side, we're going to remove the first main bolt that holds the rack and pinion in place. It's a 12 point, so use a 10mm 12 point socket with at least a 12-inch extension to get to it. You can easily get it from up here. Now we're reaching the difficult part of the job. Underneath the vehicle, driver's side, we're going to remove that bolt right there. This is the setup I used to get to that bolt. Here we have a 7-inch wobble extension, 3-inch wobble extension. This is about a 9-inch extension and about a 4-inch extension. At the top, we have enough play, enough wobble to get to that bolt from where the camera was looking up. Now on the passenger side, with the battery removed, we're going to loosen this bolt approximately 2 turns. So here's what we're trying to accomplish. This bolt has been loosened about 2 turns, the one under the battery, and this bolt has been removed, and this bolt has been removed. We're going to pivot the rack and pinion forward so we can remove the 2 lines at the bottom of it. So at the driver's side, I used a pry bar to dislodge the rack and pinion from this boot, from this seal. Just moved it forward a little bit. And now we should have access to those 2 lines. Now the guide, the service procedure states that you should clamp off the 2 lines near the reservoir, and you should add a catch pan under this area because you will lose fluid. I'm able to get these 2 banjo bolts from the driver's wheel well area. I'm coming in with a 7mm wobble extension and a shallow socket. So we come from down here, and the racking pinion is pivoted far up or far ahead that we can reach that furthest to the back bolt, which is the pressure line. See, now I can turn it. Make sure you have a drip pan. 19mm socket for the pressure line, and the line in front of it is going to be a 22mm for the return line. So go ahead and disconnect those lines. Each line has a washer that you don't want to lose. They're different sizes, so you can't mix them up. This racket pinion is not Servotronic. If it was Servotronic, it would have a connector to the rack in this area. At this point, the racking pinion is fully disconnected and ready to come out. But this spring is in the way. Here's a video by 1A Auto Repair that gives an idea of how to remove the strut. And the rack is out. It is helpful to have somebody help you pull it out. Helpful, but not necessary. It will be necessary when you put the new one into position. So you're gonna shove it into position and hold it while somebody threads in that bolt on the passenger side. And once that bolt is threaded, you're gonna be able to pivot this to get your lines back into position. So for right now, we're gonna leave the tie rods in, and we're gonna swap in the tie rods after the rack and pinion is in position. So for the new rack, you have this alignment screw, plastic screw using an H6 socket to remove it. We're not gonna mess with any of the alignment right now. We could always fix the alignment once this is in the vehicle. So all we're gonna do right now is make sure these are loose. That way we don't have any issues pulling them out once this is in position. So we're gonna go ahead and shove this back to where it goes. This next portion is a 2-technician operation. You see that bolt hole up there? We're gonna want this part of the rack to line up with that bolt hole. So from down here, we're gonna just lift up and have somebody thread in the bolt from the top. There's the bolt, and you can see that it's easy to line up, and we do need 2 people. At this point, connect your lines back to the steering gear. This one's gonna be a pain to connect back because this one wants to move on its own. So have somebody hold this while you thread in that bolt. This one was a lot easier. There's 2 gaskets on each line, or 2 washers. There's 1 washer on the bolt side and another washer in between the steering gear and the connector. So 2 washers and 2 washers. The pressure hose, 19mm socket, 29.5 foot-pounds. The return hose, 22mm socket, 34.7 foot-pounds. For this seal, I found it much easier to push it from inside the vehicle. Push it in facing outward. With the spiky part, it has a little spiky part at the very top. When you try to push the rack into its position, please don't push against this, or don't push against this, because this is gonna go in, and now you're gonna throw off the alignment. What I did is try to seat it as much as possible, and then came in with the pry bar right here, and then I was able to seat it more. Now I'm able to thread in this bolt from the top and that other bolt from the bottom. Hopefully you changed some outer tie rods before, Here's a brief summary of the procedure. The part number is SES 3646. Same part is interchangeable on either side. So we're gonna remove the tie rod. We're gonna hold on to the inner tie rod end with a 19mm wrench, and we're gonna break the jam nut with a 22mm wrench. So on the passenger side, we go up to remove. Passenger side is up to remove. And on the driver's side, it's down to remove. So once you got the jam nut loose, start removing the tie rod and count the number of rotations. Count the number of rotations until it comes out. And then with the new one, count the number of rotations as you put it in, and then tighten the jam nut. Pretty simple, right? On the passenger side, the tie rod was sticking out way out here. So we had to push it in, and you know, that's kind of fixing the alignment in a way, So what we want is that recessed area to be sticking all the way out towards the left. That way this bolt is gonna slide past it. So if it's like that, that bolt is not gonna wanna slide through. So what you're gonna do is take an H10 socket, and the tie rod has a Allen socket head. So you're able to turn it. So we got it locked in this position right now, and we're gonna turn it till we see that it's even with this hole, this part right here. So that seems about right. And then we're gonna pop it into position. You might need to use a rubber mallet, rubber dead blow. One more note about this is I hit this part as high as I could, so it's sticking up further than it should. So if we stuck a bolt through here, it is not gonna go through. The key here is to have this top part flush with the knuckle like that. Now, if we stick a bolt through, it's not gonna have a problem. Disconnecting the tie rod and the strut creates a nightmare situation when you try to reconnect everything back together. The components don't wanna line up. So, what I did first is connected the tie rod on both sides and torqued it to specifications. This one first and this one last. Specifications are as shown. Then the strut, the fork at the bottom end, I mounted on top of the track control link, and then torqued the top 3 strut bolts. Specifications as shown. From there on, I put these into position, the forward and rear control arms, upper control arms. I also use a jack to lift this knuckle upwards so I can play with these, because you're gonna have to align the holes with the joints of these. Specification for this pinch bolt is as shown. And then from there on, all you have left is the bottom bolt of the strut. Bottom bolt and nut. And that is tightened with the weight of the vehicle on the car. That is tightened with the suspension loaded. Reconnect the wheels, and at this point the steering column is still not connected. So you could move the tires around and get them as straight as possible. The lug nuts are slightly snug right now. With the front wheels as straight as possible, we're going to reconnect the steering column. The rack has these 2 flat spots that are keys, and they align with these flat spots on the steering column. So we have it pretty much spot on, and we just connect the steering column and the pinch bolt. It is torqued to 22 foot-pounds. Reconnect the battery, reconnect that lower trim piece at the driver's footwell area, and before we start the vehicle, we're gonna fill the power steering reservoir with this fluid. Please do your research for your vehicle. This is the one that worked for mine. I used about half of it. So when you start the vehicle, Make sure this does not empty out because you're at an empty system. And then do the bleeding procedure. That's going from stop to stop, all the way to the left, and all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Do that about 20 times. Shut off the vehicle and make sure this is within its range. And then do it again. Stop to stop about 20 more times. To finish up, drive the vehicle onto ramps, and then you're going to tighten the bottom of the strut to the track control link. Specifications are as follows. This bolt has to be loaded, the suspension has to be loaded in order for you to torque that bolt. And from here on, go get an alignment, and what a job. What a job. Hardest part was reconnecting the strut, tie rod, and the upper control arms. Just give you a heads up about that. So I hope you learned something. Good luck with this project if you're about to tackle it. Let me know how it went for you. Let me know how it went. What was the hardest part for you? And have a good day.